Got to Go Bold, Season 2, Episode 6, here with my great friends to talk about the big news. Rúben Amorim, it's official, going to Manchester United. So what to expect, we're going to be talking in this podcast. And how are you feeling? First guest, Pedro Hibon. You all right?
Pleasure to be back in this virtual scenario. It's always a pleasure to come here and talk to you guys. Yeah, excited as always.
I'm very excited to hear his thoughts about Ruben Amorim out to United. Viktor Gyökeres, best striker in the world currently. Let's wait and see what Pedro's going to say. And we have to Gonçalo Freire Andrade, a great friend and a true football fan. How are you feeling, Gonçalo?
Hi everyone, nice to meet you all. I mean, the sun is shining, and I really think that we're gonna have a great podcast today.
Exciting times, exciting times. Let us know down below topics that you want to see in future podcasts, guests that you want to see. Help me out. Like this video. It's a huge help for the FC Wonderkid podcast. We're now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and now on YouTube in full quality. So thank you everyone for supporting, and thank you for going bold. But yes, let's start with the first topic. Rúben Amorim is officially going to Manchester United. The next great Portuguese manager, in my opinion. FC Wonderkid podcast warned the world. We stated he's better than Arteta, better than Ten Hag, better than Pochettino, and Man United fans. Now's the time. You're not that anymore. So how are you feeling? First thoughts on Pedro with Rúben Amorim going to Manchester United.
Alex, to be honest, as a sporting fan, of course, these aren't good news. If there's any sporting fan that will tell you he's happy, it's a lie. We're all devastated, of course.
But you're grateful.
I'm grateful for everything Rúben Amorim has done for the club.
You must be.
It's impossible not to be. Impossible not to have him deep in our hearts. I think he changed the club. He changed the mentality. And I think that's what Rúben Amorim will aim to do at United. And I do think he is the one, the special one to change Man United. And I do believe United has the potential, together with Rúben Amorim, to become the biggest club in the world. I do.
Biggest club. First, they have to go through City and even Arsenal, because a lot of people in England.
Alex, we'll take a bit, but even Ruben Amorim said himself he's not expecting to return to the Portuguese league any soon. So he's in the top league now. He's up there.
But Pedro, how long is a bit for you? How long is a bit for you?
For Man United to have success with Rúben?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd say Rúben Amorim will be the next Sir Alex Ferguson for Man United.
The truth is, mate, like 10 managers have been sacked. He's the 10th manager, Rúben Amorim, since Sir Alex Ferguson.
If Manchester United gives the time to Rúben Amorim and the patience that they gave to Erik ten Hag, Rúben Amorim will create not only a game style but a culture within the club. He will clean the club in a way we've never seen before. He'll control the locker room on his own way.
I agree.
And
I agree as well.
He's gonna do 1 year long preseason almost. So
true.
And even Rúben Amorim said himself, no sporting players are coming in January. And that's what, because Rúben Amorim really wants to get to know his players. And that's one of his key to success, is knowing his players in a deeper level, emotional level, not only footballing qualities. You know, he wants to know everything about his players, and he wants to know on what he can count on from now on. To see in the summer transfer market, okay, what do I need now? What type of character, what type of personality does this player have? Because if you
remember,
Pedro, there are no trouble in the locker room.
Pedro, remember when Jurgen Klopp was first signed to be the Liverpool manager? He had a sort of first season, pre-season. So Rúben Amorim accepts this very difficult job because he knows if he achieves success, glimpses of success in his first season, which is a top 6, which is winning an Europa League to get that Champions League, that would be really bold. Right now, Tottenham, Porto can be perceived as teams like Porto. But yeah, they drew with Man United, teams that are in the same level to win the Europa League. And now with Rúben, let's see. And he said, Rúben Amorim said this. Rúben Amorim stated, this is the club I wanted. How did you feel listening to this, Gonçalo? Like, this was a bold statement.
I mean, I think the three of us, we can really agree that Rúben Amorim will succeed at United at some extent. For me, succeeding at United is already doing as good as Mourinho did when he was at United. To me,
True.
Mourinho was Mourinho's season when he won the Europa League was the best season we saw United playing football since Alex Ferguson.
Facts.
Now, I think it's a matter of time of succeeding and a matter of if they really let him do his job. But I think, okay, Rúben Amorim is a new breed of coaches that is coming up, like Nagelsmann, like Arteta, like Xabi Alonso. And Rúben Amorim is 2 weeks older than Cristiano Ronaldo. 2 weeks older than Cristiano Ronaldo. This is an insane stat.
He's 4 years older than Bale.
And he's already the best coach in the history of sport. That is insane.
The best I've seen. Like winning
the best I've seen as well. But
in 5 years,
go,
2 leagues.
If you go and understand the sporting history and that they've been once to in their history once to the Champions League quarterfinal, and this year with Gyökeres, with Trincão, with Pote, with Yulman, they have an insane team that can really reach the quarterfinals. I don't know if they will, maybe not, but I really believe that they can do insane
history,
something really history. Exactly.
And another thing to go with what you're saying, Gonçalo, that's the history between Sporting and Manchester United. Manchester United never got a bad deal. They never got a bad deal. When they signed Bruno for 65 million, good deal. He carried them for many seasons. Nani, 25 million. Marcus Rojo for 20. CR7, Cristiano Ronaldo, 19 million at the time. Like, that's insane. And now Ruben Amorim, 12.6 million. 12.6 million. Yes.
Just to sustain one argument to sustain what Gonçalo said about Ruben Amorim being Sporting's best coach of all time. If you look at games managed for the club, Ruben Amorim is the second manager with the most games in Sporting, okay? And he won 2 titles in 4 years. And the conditions that he did so, he put Sporting through the Champions League group stage in this most recent format for the second time only, beating Dortmund in the process. And I really do think he was set for a Champions League quarterfinal appearance, at least this season. If you take a look, Sporting's record this season in the league, 10 matches unbeaten, 35 goals scored, 3 conceded. It's amazing. It's a stat like I've never seen at Sporting. Not even.
And the transfer value of the whole squad is up, and it's more valuable than Benfica and Porto currently.
Yeah,
and when Ruben arrived, they were the 3rd team in terms of transfer value, Sporting.
Alex, and people mock, you only sold Ruben Amorim. Sporting only sold Ruben Amorim for the value they acquired him. That's not true. I don't care, man. Because if you told me, if I tell you tomorrow, let's say, for example, for Benfica, you're gonna get a coach at 0, no cost at all, and he's gonna value the squad in 200 million. Would that be a bad deal? And you're gonna win 2 titles in the process.
So coaches in the end. Coaches don't make money.
Exactly, coaches are not players.
For clubs. For clubs, they don't make money. So
they do make money in the terms that they increase the value of their squad.
No, exactly.
And Ruben does that.
But not through transfers.
Gonçalo and Alex, just listen to this stat. So I'm just going to ask you one question first. Before Ruben Amorim, I'd say since 2000, in your opinion, who was the best manager you've seen in Portugal?
José Mourinho.
José Mourinho. What's your opinion, Gonçalo?
Yeah, of course, José Mourinho.
Okay, I agree with you. So let me tell you one thing.
And Villas-Boas team, that was the best team I saw too.
In the Portuguese
League, Europa League.
Alex, in the Portuguese league, José Mourinho has a win ratio of 76%. Ruben Amorim has a win ratio in the Portuguese league of 77%. So Ruben Amorim has a win ratio which is bigger than arguably the best coach we've ever seen in the Portuguese Premier League.
And you see the team that Ruben started.
But Mourinho coached Leiria. Mourinho coached Leiria. And Mourinho coached Leiria to top 3. And
true.
But Mourinho also coached a Porto
and
team.
And Villas-Boas Académica.
That was another level. That was...
And since you're going with stats too, Pedro, aligning with what you said, Ruben Amorim's record at Sporting in all competitions is of 228 games, 163 wins, 71% win ratio, 2 leagues won, 2 league titles won, a Supertaça de Cândido Oliveira won, and yes, the hearts of every Sporting fan were won in these 5 years. Iconic. People often forget the list of names developed by Ruben Amorim, Nuno Mendes, Palhinha, Mateus Nunes, so many, even a Pedro Porro that is taking over now at Tottenham. And stats, another one that I want to say, In the stats since 2023-2024, in the top 6 leagues, Sporting is the team with most wins. Sporting is the team with most goals scored. And Sporting has most wins, 38 wins. Barca and City, 36. Most goals, Sporting has 126 in the league. And Bayern Munich is in second with 123. And most clean sheets, Sporting is in third in the top 6 leagues with 23 clean sheets. Only Real Madrid and Inter ahead of Sporting in terms of clean sheets. Ruben at 39 did this at Sporting. Amazing to see. But we're talking a lot about the past, and we're not past people. We're people that enjoy to talk about the future too, right? So the present and future of Ruben Amorim at Man United. What are we thinking here? First big question, it's who will be the player that is going to be remarked as, okay, Ruben Amorim is now at Manchester United. He's improved this player massively. Arne Slot, Luis Diaz and Konate and Gravenberch. Who will it be for Ruben Amorim this season?
You want to start, Gonçalo? Go ahead.
I think for English fans, it's really important for them to understand that Ruben Amorim really believes he's going to do the same thing he did with Sporting when he came.
Yes.
So I think he's going to grab a key player, and probably Bruno Fernandes. I think that's the easiest way to see it. We also think Ugarte might be really key, because Ugarte played really well here in the Portuguese league, and also did pretty well at PSG. He's not having any game time or much game time in United, but I think he can be a key player for Ruben Amorim in that sense. I don't know if you agree with me. I think the back three, we will see the back three, the characteristical back three that we saw at Sporting for Ruben Amorim. I think it's part of his identity, and I think he will have to hire a centre back to play a key role in that back three. Back three,
I agree,
maybe Gonçalo Inácio. I don't know. I think Gonçalo
million.
Inácio's clause with 40 million is pretty accessible for the quality that he has, and I think he trusts the player. I think it will be down to when he arrives and sees the quality in the training pitch. If he really believes that the quality in the training pitch is there for the centre backs, I think he might not need to buy.
Sorry, before you say Pedro, I think the position that Man United must address first with Ruben Amorim is just what happened to at Sporting. It's the fullbacks. Nor Mazrui, nor Dalot. I love Dalot. I think he's a great squad player, but I do not believe they can get to that world-class status. Ruben will develop, will improve them, but I'm guarantee you 2 new fullbacks, one for the right and one for the left, will be signed, because currently Tottenham has better wingbacks. Jeremy Frimpong, I think.
What about the left back, the left wing? Aït-Nouri, you think?
Ryan Aït-Nouri would be a great, not great, would be a good signing. I like that signing. But what are you thinking here, Pedro? Like, you're quite silent here.
There are a few players I could highlight, to be honest. I think Gonçalo has a point when he talks about Manuel Ugarte, especially considering you play with a 2-player midfield, and when you need 2 players in the midfield, I think that's where Ugarte really excels. Because Ugarte's greatest quality, in my opinion, is his range. His range across the pitch. He's everywhere. He's needed. He can bring the ball forward like a true box-to-box midfielder. He can play wide as well to cover the fullbacks, and he can drop back. And that's why I think Ugarte can be really key. In my opinion, I'll highlight 2 different players. I'll say that for this Ruben Amorim Manchester United team, 2 players are going to be key, and one of them you're not going to agree with me. So first of all, Bruno Fernandes, as Gonçalo also said, and then Marcus Rashford. And I'm going to explain it to you.
I don't know if Rashford's going to go well.
And Ruben Amorim statics, basically let's say the forwards and the wingers. So the wingers play wide up front, and that gives space for the forwards, the center forwards, the 3 center forwards to explore the spaces in the middle. And Bruno Fernandes is going to play the key role Pedro Gonçalves plays at Sporting, which is play in between the midfield and the most.
But on the right.
I think he can play on the right or on the left. But he's going to score goals. He's going to become more prolific than ever. We're going to see Bruno's going to be really cooking with this Man United team, I believe.
I really think Ruben Amorim has to get Viktor Gyökeres. I really think so.
In my opinion, for now,
I really think
Ruben Amorim is going to try to make Marcus Rashford his Viktor Gyökeres at Man United.
I don't think so.
I believe
I
Maybe
think
Marcus.
not
Rasmus
really.
Højlund, mate. Rasmus Højlund. Why
I
are we
believe-
talking 60
Yes,
million?
I believe Marcus Rashford has the qualities to become the type of striker Ruben Amorim wants to play in depth. Because
So,
positional attacking.
Have you
is
seen?
14.
Have you seen Mourinho talking about Marcus Rashford as a number 9, saying that he's not a number 9?
he's
They're
not a
saying
number
that
nine.
he can't play in with his back to the goal.
But imagine,
And I think that
Pedro,
doesn't
you
work.
believe the front three of Man United with Ruben Amorim is going to be Rashford, Højlund, Bruno Fernandes?
In my opinion,
Yeah.
sometimes it can happen, but in my opinion, first of all, it will be Rashford, Bruno, and Garnacho.
No Højlund. I think Rasmus Højlund
No.
can have a rebirth. And the player, and this is where I wanted to say, look, I think this is going to shock a lot of people. I hinted to Gonçalo before the start of this podcast. The player, the player that I believe will have a rebirth with Ruben Amorim that no one's talking is Mason Mount. I think Mason Mount with Ruben Amorim can be an engine in this midfield. And I see Ugarte and Kobe Mino. I love them, but they're very defensive both. And Mason Mount has much more goal, has much more presence. And look, it's a fresh chance for Mason Mount to get to the potential that we saw with Thomas Tuchel with Chelsea that played with 3 at the back. There's similarities of the Thomas Tuchel style of play with the Ruben Amorim, but the Ruben Amorim is much faster in transition and gives much more to the strikers to the forwards in terms of overlaps in the wings. So yes, I believe Mason Mount, a player that was signed for 65 million, will be a player that Ruben Amorim will improve massively at Manchester United. Obviously,
That is a bold statement. That is very, very bold. Especially after Chelsea did such a successful transfer of getting 60 million for him and then getting Cole Palmer. It was
And Cole
such
Palmer
a good
was in
move.
Manchester. Cole Palmer was in Manchester. And he was rumoredly a Man United fan in his childhood.
And even in the front three, I think even Mason Mount can even perform in the front three, as that position I was telling you about, in between.
True. He's the number 7.
midfield and attacking lines. Mason Mount can perform there. It's I think his abilities match that type of role.
But do you
I
think,
think
here...
I think we're focusing.
Rashford,
Sorry,
Maguire, Luke Shaw. What are you thinking here? So Rashford, Pedro thinks he's going to be bold with Ruben Amorim. Maguire and Luke Shaw, will they stay?
That's exactly what I wanted to get at. I think Rúben Amorim, the same way we saw Rúben Amorim at Sporting, he had to make tough decisions at the beginning and getting a new squad in and understand where the debilities are of the players that are in. And it's going to be harsh because Maguire, even though he got a lot of criticism, he still was captain, and he still has. There's a lot of feelings from the English fans with him playing really well for the national team. Luke Shaw as well, with also Solskjaer, exactly. And so, in the end, I really think it will come down to recognize who is at the level, who is not at the level, and getting really, really good players for the right positions. I think you went to the right point, Alex, which is the fullbacks will also be very, very key. And we saw that at Leverkusen last year. Leverkusen, the successful season that they had was very much due to Frimpong and to Alex Grimaldo. Alex Grimaldo was top 30 in the Ballon d'Or. And it was
there's
not...
no Gyökeres in the top 30 of the Ballon d'Or.
And there was no Gyökeres. And Patrick Schick, even though he's a really, really good striker, to me, he's not at the level of Gyökeres. And we can see Rasmus Højlund doing really well, but I think it's a matter
Boniface, mate. Boniface is quite good. And Wirtz
Yeah,
was the
Boniface
best
is
player in
really
the
good.
Bundesliga that season.
100%. But I still don't think they are. And I'm a Benfica fan, and I'm talking really, really well about
Why
about
you're
Viktor
saying
Gyökeres.
that first time? I'm joking. But people, let us know your comments down below about Ruben Amorim. Are you agreeing, disagreeing, and like this video if you want to see more Ruben talk, okay? Continuing the Ruben Amorim talk with Man United. Yes, Pedro, if you
just a quick mention. Just don't forget that in a 3 center-back system, and considering the high intensity load that the Premier League has with games from 2 to 2 days, I believe that Maguire and Luke Shaw can play a vital role. Maguire as a center-back in this system, and Luke Shaw playing as a left center-back, not as a wing-back, as a left center-back, like Matheus Reis did. And I think...
But what do you do with De Ligt? Then will you play at the right center back
Of course, you'll be starter, but
or
you
not the pivotal role?
cannot
I see the league doing that more.
you have injuries, you have games from 2 to 2 days. You cannot play the
True, true,
legs from
true.
2 to 2 days.
I agree.
No, the Man United squad is still not ready to have the 3 center backs and to have only 2 midfielders in terms of one of them needing to be more present in terms of goals. I think they're not ready for this. And if you see now with Sporting, now ready. Daniel Bragança, Morita is now more present in goals. It's a different type of team. But going with what we said, and I disagree with you, Pedro, with the Rashford take about going to striker. Because I think the front three, that Rúben Amorim will play Manchester United. I'm very excited. I think Garnacho will be present at the left side. I think Rasmus Højlund will be the striker. And I think Bruno Fernandes will be playing between the lines at the right. But I do believe Amad Diallo could improve a lot. And overall, the squad value of Man United, I can guarantee Man United fans will be much more than it is right now, okay, at the end of this first season. And that will be what convinces Man United fans to trust not just Rúben Amorim. Like, I often see now, Rúben Amorim goes to Man United, full. It's full. The Premier League news, everything's full of media. But nobody talks about Omar Berrada. Omar Berrada is the man that made this choice. Omar Berrada knows that Man City obviously is interested in a Rúben Amorim if Pep Guardiola leaves, that we still don't know. I think Guardiola, even himself, doesn't know if he's going to leave. So, Manchester United, touche. I would have loved for Rúben Amorim to stay until the end of the season. Personally, because I'm so Portuguese. I'm Portuguese. And I believe, just like I believe both of you agree with me, Rúben Amorim is making history here in Portugal. I will never forget in my lifetime what I've seen with Viktor Gyökeres, what I've seen with Rúben Amorim, and that's why I want to say to Man United fans, this is the best choice possible that could have happened. A man that has discipline, hard work, accountability, and I can guarantee you expectations are to be the best team in the world with Rúben Amorim. So I wanted to say that. Arteta in the mud now. Arteta in the mud now with Rúben Amorim in the Premier League. Like, what's the excuse for Arsenal fans?
Clash of styles, man, in between Rúben Amorim and Pep, because even Rúben Amorim himself says he copies Pep. He tries to see what Pep does best, and he tries to copy it and adapt it. So it will be very interesting to see that clash of styles if Pep Guardiola remains in the Premier League.
And let me ask you guys here, and you can answer at the same time here. The first 5 matches of Rúben Amorim, I know it's very hard to predict. We still haven't seen him even speak to the players, and I'm asking you to do such a hard task. But I leave this challenge to the people at home, okay, to answer in the comment section down below. How do we believe the first 5 matches of Rúben Amorim are going to be? So, Gonçalo and Pedro, the first 5 matches of Rúben Amorim. Ipswich away.
Win.
100%.
Bodo Glimt at home.
Win.
Draw. Bodo
First
Glimt is
European-
playing really, really well, and in the Europa League they are very, very good.
Yeah, man, and Halje is
Jean-Peter Halje, yes.
a great striker, man.
They won against Porto.
And Everton at home.
Win. I believe win.
Draw.
Arsenal away. The first big game in the 4th of December.
Draw.
I really think the first big game, Rúben Amorim will have to win. Rúben Amorim is in the first big game, he will show his potential as a coach. I don't
Nottingham
think
Forest
it will be
at home.
regular.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest at home. It's a tough one, to be honest. Nuno Espírito Santo is doing fairly well.
True.
I would say at that moment he will have time to win.
I'm going to say draw. I'm going to say draw.
Forest are in the top 4 for the first time since 1988.
They're doing
so
so
I
well.
love the shout out with Nuno Espírito Santo. And after these 5 matches, I didn't put it in the clip too, because this one obviously can get a bit more talk. The Manchester City match is after these 5 matches. So that will be away, okay, in December. So
Yeah,
that's gonna be a huge
Let's see how he
challenge.
does now with Sporting.
Exactly.
And I think
that's
that will
my
be a
bridge.
very big reflection of that.
So people, let us know down below your thoughts about Rúben Amorim. Did you enjoy? Do you want to talk in episode 7 about Rúben Amorim again? I think it's going to happen again. So let us know down below in the comments. And yes, Champions League nights. are back, and it's going to be a
Yes.
Sporting Man City. And who best to talk about this than Pedro, a true Sporting fan that stated to the world before a lot of people that Ruben Amorim was going to go bold and that Gyökeres was a top, you said 3 striker in the world of football. What are your thoughts currently, Pedro?
Man, I haven't had a change of heart in relation to that topic. I'll even say more. In my opinion, Viktor Gyökeres is the best striker in world football. And he's gonna
Come on.
Listen to
Come
this.
on.
Viktor Gyökeres for Sporting, 66 games, 63 goals, 19 assists. These are monstrous numbers.
Okay, Pedro. But
Tell
he
me-
plays at Sporting.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can tell me he plays out the Portuguese league. So why does any other player do this?
How many goals would
How
Gyökeres
many
score at
strikers were
Arsenal?
here that go away to the Premier League or
How
whatever?
many goals could
Bro, Bas
Value in a
Dost
full season
scored
would have?
30 goals
Again, Alex?
in the Portuguese
So
league.
Erling Haaland broke the record of goals in the Premier League in his first season. What would be the impact of Viktor Gyökeres with Ruben Amorim at Manchester United or at Arsenal in a full season?
I mean,
That's
it's
more than 30
big,
goals if he's the
I
best
would-
striker in the
if
world.
I was
Pedro.
Viktor Gyökeres, I would stick with.
You will not reach that level at the first season. I think Viktor Gyökeres is insane. He's the best talent I've seen in the Portuguese league in my lifetime. And I saw Falcão, I saw Hulk, I saw Aimar, I saw Di Maria. I saw
You
all of
put
these.
Gyökeres ahead of Falcão?
I put ahead of these. I put him ahead of these because I think what Gyökeres has that really differentiates him is not like just his quality. It's what his mentality is absolutely contagious. He's insatiable. He always goes to the ball. He always wants to score. And every single Sporting player, you can see that he is absolutely contagious to these players.
True.
And that is a key piece that might be missing at United. I really think so. And that's why I think Rúben Amorim might do everything he can to reach Viktor Gyökeres. And if in January any big club like Arsenal pay 100 million and United is seeing that, Rúben Amorim will have to do it. And now in the press conference, Rúben Amorim said that he will not reach and will not buy any single Sporting player in January, which I think was a mistake because he doesn't know yet if he will have
Look
to.
at Pedro's
That's
face.
the only problem. What do you think, Pedro?
No,
I actually
honestly, I think Viktor. In one point, I agree with Gonçalo. Viktor Gyökeres' impact is not going to be as such as Haaland had, especially because Haaland got into a team that was on the works
Exactly.
with Pep Guardiola.
Well
for
said.
6 years.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I agree with Gonçalo in that sense. I still think Viktor Gyökeres is the best striker in the world, and I do believe that if he played for Man City, he would be monstrous as well. He'd perform outrageous numbers.
Better than Haaland, so
He is.
if you're stating
I
that.
cannot say for sure better. They're different type of players. Like for example, Haaland has more acrobatical aerial ability than Gyökeres has, but Gyökeres is much better.
Acrobatical.
Let me finish. Gyökeres is much better in searching for the space within the depth. Just running in transitions. Viktor Gyökeres is a beast. Nobody can stop him. He knows how to place his body. Even center backs cannot stop him, man. Center backs just fall on the ground whenever they try to stop
The
him.
aura. They just
Because
fall.
he knows how to place his body in a way that they cannot reach the ball. And if they reach the ball, they
it's
commit
true,
a foul.
it's true.
So, in my
It's true.
opinion, Viktor Gyökeres is very smart. He can play every game style he wants to play. He can play with his back facing the goal on a first touch basis. He can dribble the ball in transitions. He has long shots. He scores free
No,
kicks.
he's
as well.
the best
Yeah,
player
he scores
in the
free
Portuguese league. He's the best
No,
player in the
fun fact,
Portuguese
Alex.
league. And he can
Viktor
score free
Gyökeres-
kicks too.
Fun fact, Alex. Fun fact is Viktor Gyökeres' free kick goal against Nacional, besides being first Sporting's goal in 4 years in a set piece, in a direct set piece, it was the first Viktor Gyökeres goal from outside the box in Sporting.
In 2020, since
No,
2020.
ever in
And a free
Sporting.
kick.
It's the first.
Yes.
It's the
sorry.
first goal he scored from outside the
And
box.
it's
which is
first goal from a free kick since 2020.
from
Yeah.
Sporting.
Since what? Bruno Fernandes?
No, of
Pedro
Gyökeres.
Porro. Pedro
Oh,
Porro.
okay.
Pedro Porro was the last player.
Pedro
But,
Porro,
but
right,
we're talking
right.
now about the past a lot, and I understand, because what we're witnessing is history, going back to what we said. But we want to talk about the match on Tuesday, and currently Man City in the Champions League, Pedro, they have 9 goals scored and they have 0 conceded. Do you believe Viktor Gyökeres will score against Man City after these 4
I
goals
do,
scored in
Alex.
the Portuguese
I
league?
have strong feelings about it. Even so, because Man City are lacking two big players in the center,
Exactly.
which are
Rodri,
John
De
Stones
Bruyne.
and Ruben Dias. And
Ah.
those were
John
key
Stones and
players,
Ruben Dias.
big players that were key to stop Viktor Gyökeres in the transitions, especially Ruben Dias, I believe. Ruben Dias is a physical monster, and it will be really important to face up to Viktor Gyökeres. And it will become a bit harder for Man City. I still think, of course, Man City are huge favorites for this matchup, and probably they're going to win.
Huge favorites.
It's going to be easy. They're going to win, I believe. It's not going to be easy, but Viktor Gyökeres is set to score, I believe.
Ah, you believe in a
He's going to show the
3-2
Prem
result?
why he's worth the 100 million euros clause. He's going to show the Prem. My conviction.
I actually think I'm a Benfica fan. That's what I've said. I can say this time and time and again. I really think this Sporting side is incredible, and I really think they can do wonders against Man City. And Man City had Kevin De Bruyne injured. He's not injured anymore, but he was injured for a long time. Don't have Rodri. Don't have Ruben Dias. They don't have Stones. And in the end, against Gyökeres, against Trincão, against Pote, this might be really tough for them, and I think they can get a draw or a win. I really believe in that.
Best chance possible.
That's true.
Best chance possible. Best chance possible.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
If you take a look at Man City squad, even Pep Guardiola said it himself. He said he only had 13 outfield players. Now with the Ruben Dias injury, they only have 12 from the main squad. So they'll have to call in a lot of youngsters to play against Sporting. And even this last match that they lost 2-1 against Bournemouth.
Yeah.
They only did two subs. That just shows the lack of confidence Pep Guardiola has on his bench right now.
True.
So I believe that can play a huge role in the Champions League matchup against Sporting. You know?
Okay, I agree with what you're saying. Very good points. And
I agree
since
100%.
we're talking about City, will Pep Guardiola stay at Man City, guys?
Gonçalo, you want to go?
Yes, I mean it's difficult to say. We've seen this soap opera like Ruben Amorim says for before. I think it's still not the time for him to leave, but at the same time there's nothing else to win, and when there's nothing else to grow inside, it's hard not to think about leaving, and it's still hard to predict, but I think he might leave. I think he might leave.
What do you think? Like a 60-40%, no?
It's a matter of if they actually think they get a good replacement, and now having Ruben Amorim at United, it's gonna be tougher to find.
But
really
there's a
good
better replacement than Ruben Amorim for Man City, Pedro.
Who do you think?
It's the man who only lost once last season, Xabi Alonso.
But I think
Real
he's
Madrid
going to Real
wants
Madrid.
it.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
This is
I live in Madrid. I live in Madrid. I see what the Real Madrid fans do. They are
the favorite.
completely obsessed with Xabi Alonso. Florentino Perez, when he wants something, he gets it. He gets it with the Galacticos. He gets it with Mbappe, and he will get it with Xabi Alonso.
Imagine if Xabi Alonso and Wirtz and Alfonso Davies and Trent all come in one transfer window. That's the Galacticos. And in the last window, Mbappe came in. And he's going to overachieve that if he gets Wirtz in. That will be insane. But not going to the Real Madrid still. Well, no, we can go to the Real Madrid. Real Madrid, AC Milan. It's a big fixture in the Champions League. What are you thinking here, Pedro? Because I haven't spoke to you a long time about Real Madrid. And I know you love what they're doing.
That's true. Be honest, I'm starting to lack a bit of faith in this Real Madrid team. So I was a bit disappointed with the 4-0 loss with Barcelona. I know Madrid had their chances, but Barcelona outplayed them tactically with the offside trap. It was amazing by Hansi Flick. He's doing an amazing job, in my opinion, at Barcelona. And they're aiming to match up with Real Madrid in the coming years. And finally, we can see the spark reignite in El Clasico. So it will be really nice. Man, I'm just waiting to see if there's not going to be any issue in Real Madrid's locker room.
There is going to be an issue.
Now, Vinicius
Bellingham playing right back.
I think Vinicius winning the Ballon d'Or would be crucial for the well-being of Real Madrid locker room. And
don't you think it will unite them more, him not winning?
Let me just say this.
I think so.
If Vinicius had won the Ballon d'Or, he wouldn't be craving for it anymore. And
He would.
That would open space but he would open up some space for Mbappe to win it. Now Vinicius wants the Ballon d'Or super bad. And Mbappe wants the Ballon d'Or as well, super
Bellingham.
bad. And Bellingham as well, if you put it into
And
that
Hendrik.
equation.
And Hendrik.
He's 18
In my
now.
opinion, a squad should have like a top tier guy, which everybody
The hierarchy, yeah.
So, exactly, top guy in the hierarchy, just like when Cristiano Ronaldo.
And Vini is the best player of Real Madrid, Pedro.
Again,
He really is. He really is.
Vini is the best player of Real Madrid.
Vini. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
But
Mbappe
the stardom
has to
of
step
I
up.
understand. Yeah, 100%. But I
offside
understand that the stardom of Kylian Mbappe eventually will possibly rise, and we saw that in the World Cup, in the World Cup final. What he did in the World Cup final was completely insane, and we are still starstruck about that. And I understand that Real Madrid fans and the team are still hoping for that Kylian Mbappe to show up, and if he actually does show up, it will be tight for Vinicius, and I understand Pedro's point. But it's
sorry. I think a big problem of this Real Madrid team is Jude Bellingham was flying last season. Jude Bellingham ain't flying this season. He's out of position. He's not scoring goals. He doesn't seem as confident as he was last season. Arda Güler is not playing. Hendrik is not playing. Hendrik only has 107 minutes, and he was signed for more than 60 million. Expectations of Florentino Perez must be at his highest. And the truth is, Toni Kroos left, and Real hasn't found themselves. And on the other side, in Catalonia, Barcelona can't be stated the best team in the world. Lamine Yamal is owning Mbappe, not just in international football, as we saw in the Euros. He's owning him at club level too. And it's with Hansi Flick ball that, yes, only Dani Olmo came in and Gundogan left. And we see how much better this Barca team is with Hansi Flick.
And Rafinha is playing at levels. I've never seen Rafinha play like this before.
Yeah,
true.
Really
Prime.
He surprised me. Because to be fair,
and Lewandowski back.
I always considered Rafinha a very good player, but in my opinion, he was never Barca standard. You know, the Barca top level standard we were talking about.
Got you.
But he's proving everybody wrong this season. Everybody was like, "Yeah, Nico Williams is coming. We sell Rafinha. We'll get a huge replacement. We'll do Yamal and Nico Williams, amazing link up from Spain." And now Rafinha is telling people, "Nah, yeah, talk now, guys. Talk now."
Exactly.
Because I've never seen like this. I've never seen like this, to be honest, before.
I think at Barca, what we are seeing is the power of a good academy.
The best academy.
The La Masia saved Football Club Barcelona. And that is undeniable. La Masia saved Barcelona. And the way they're doing now, it's not from spending crazy amounts of money in Coutinho, in Ousmane Dembélé, in Nico Williams. What they're doing is trusting the youth, and that is changing the club. And that is what maybe Real Madrid is not doing. And that is something that
it's two different style of management. La Fabrica was never the priority of Real, but it just helps them financially to get a Jude Bellingham, to get a Vini. And they're academy players. Flamengo, Real Madrid signed Vini very early from Flamengo, and he played for Castilla, academy player. So interesting enough, guys. And I see that in the La Liga, Player of the Month. Who was the Player of the Month in August? Rafinha. Who's the Player of the Month in September? Lamine. And now in October, it's Lewandowski. Do you consider this attack of Barcelona the best attack in the world currently?
That's a great question. Alex. I think it might be. I think it really, really might be. It's only because Lewandowski is putting up the levels again. And we thought he was done. Last season, we thought Lewandowski was too old. And guys, we are seeing the best of him again.
And you seeing Lewandowski here, Gonçalo, I think the disrespect Lamine Yamal's been getting. I see top 3 tiers of right wingers in the world of football. They put Saka, they put Rodrigo, they put Salah. Salah, understandably, one of the best players in the Premier League. But not having Lamine Yamal in your top 3 right wingers in football clearly shows that you've never seen Barca play football. He's the best talent in football, and for me, the most enjoyable right winger in football.
At the moment, is the best right winger in world football, Lamine Yamal. I have no doubt about it. And considering the question as well, I mean, in my opinion, Barcelona is the second best team in terms of football at the moment, playing wise, or their game style.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Don't say your first. Don't say your first.
If you ask me,
He's-
I'll have to say yes because we'll get there. But in my opinion, the team that are ahead of Barcelona does not have a better attack.
Okay.
Than they
Don't
have at the
spoil,
moment.
don't
I
spoil,
think
don't spoil.
you know where I'm going. You cannot say Gakpo, Darwin, and Salah are a better front three than Yamal, Lewandowski.
No,
and
no, no.
At the moment,
No,
you
no,
cannot
no,
say it.
no, no,
So in
no,
my
no,
opinion,
no.
Barcelona's front three are the most prolific attack at the moment in football.
And we're talking loads here in the Champions League, finishing here this topic with the Champions League and hinting to what you're stating, Pedro. I just wanted to talk about this PSG Atletico de Madrid game because currently PSG are not the champions of France in the Champions League. They're behind Brest, they're behind Monaco, they're behind Lille, and now PSG with 4 points. They have to go bold with Atletico de Madrid. So what are your expectations here for PSG in the Champions League, guys?
So, to be fair, I think PSG is gonna easily beat Atletico Madrid.
Easily.
Yeah,
Easily.
Atletico Madrid has been underperforming this season.
It's the Benfica
we've seen it
game.
in the Champions League. No,
It's the Benfica game.
not in the Benfica game, guys. They lost against Lille at home. They lost against Lille at
But
home.
Lille beat Real Madrid too.
Yeah, but they conceded
Exactly.
Atletico de Madrid conceded 3 goals against Lille, okay? I mean, and I'm not underrating Lille. Lille is a really nice team with a really nice attack, but come on, guys. It's Atletico de Madrid we're talking about. Simeone ball. We all know about Simeone ball. He parks the damn bus. He parks the damn bus.
We know about Ruben Amorim ball, huh? Simeone
And,
ball, not as...
Atletico de
I agree,
Madrid,
Pedro.
Atletico de Madrid is struggling in the Champions League. They're not doing so well in the league. They're 5th place at the moment. The confidence is gone, and it's just. I know João Felix isn't doing great, but João Felix must be laughing looking at this team now because, I mean, they can't
He's
score.
better.
They can't score even now in the cup game against a 6th division side. They only won 2-0, and not at the very end, at the dying moment.
At the very end.
How can a team as big as Atletico de Madrid
They can't accept that.
be
yeah.
happy with this? And you have PSG with Vitinha, with João Neves bossing around the midfield, and Barcola. I know you like Barcola.
I love
also
Barcola.
putting in the performances.
Barcola insane.
PSG is gonna end up in the top 8 in the Champions League
Ooh.
league stage. I do believe
They have
in my
tough
opinion-
games.
In my opinion, easy win for PSG against Atletico.
Oh.
Okay, but let me say something here. Huh? The problem with Atletico Madrid, in my eyes, and I've seen the Benfica match with Atletico Madrid fans at my place, and the problem was they lost 4-0 against Benfica, and they could have lost 7-8-0.
True. I
It
saw the
was
game. So yeah, I agree.
insane. And
True.
Atletico is still not recovering from that humiliation because it was a humiliation not only on the score but on the way they played, and they've never seen something like that.
And
under
they
Simeone.
spent big in summer. They
We're not
spent
talking
for
about-
Alvarez,
Big.
Sorloth,
Yeah.
Lenormand,
And we're not
more
talking
than
about the
140 million.
Benfica that was Benfica 3 years ago. Benfica now is not the same Benfica as 3 years ago.
But
For
it's
the
improving now
way
with
it was.
Brunlage.
100%.
No, I know Benfica played really well. Full merit to Benfica on full
Kerem
merit to Benfica on that
Aktürkoğlu.
match.
Wow.
But still, Atletico de Madrid should have done more. Even
True,
if Benfica
true,
won
true.
that match, they should have shown heart, desire.
But Pedro,
Typical characteristics from a Simeone team, we didn't witness.
you stated PSG was going to end in the top 8. So PSG against Atletico de Madrid, PSG wins, right?
Wins
Bayern Munich, PSG away, the next match.
away at Munich,
Yeah.
draw,
Then Salzburg away.
win.
Then PSG, Man City at home.
Yeah, it depends on how the injuries go and who recovers, but I'll say draw. At home.
May. And then Stuttgart at the end. I don't think
then
maybe PSG won't finish in the top 8.
Yeah,
Maybe.
for them to finish top 8.
Maybe, but playoffs, I agree. So this is why the Champions League table is insane. Like
It's insane.
Benfica or Sporting could finish in the top 8. Let's see how Sporting plays against Arsenal and Man City. But yeah, it's not easy at all. And PSG have tough games. PSG is the most unlucky team in the Champions League draw in terms of fixtures. Playing Atletico, Bayern, playing City. Like, come on. Come on, people. So yes, Champions League thoughts were done. Let us know down below what you're thinking for the game week and what we missed, okay? Go bold in the comments section. Now, a challenge. One of the last topics here in the pod. It's who are the best teams in football. A top 5. Who do we think are the most informed teams in football? And yes, let's start Gonçalo because I feel like you're eager to say, and don't spoil Pedro, okay? Don't spoil.
I like Pedro's eagerness, to be fair. I like Pedro's eagerness. I know he wants to say something bold. He's ready. He's absolutely ready. I have to say it's quite difficult to still tell. To me, I have to start. I have to start with Barcelona, and I think they're the most informed team in the world right now.
Best team in the world right now.
I think so, and mostly because they are really trusting the youth, and they did an amazing job of getting Hansi Flick and getting Xavi away. Even though Xavi was a club legend, we also thought hey, he was going to do well if with time he might have done well, but Hansi Flick is showing levels, and I think right now Barca is the most dangerous team in the world, and I still think Real Madrid is second, but it might be Madrid bias.
Gonçalo,
Might be
I'm
Madrid
so
bias.
sorry. I don't even
sorry.
put Real Madrid in my top 5 teams in football currently.
I understand.
But in April, May, I think they'll be there because that's what
know.
happens.
But the season, that's what Carlo Ancelotti said at the press conference. The season they lost against 4-0 against Barcelona at home. They won the league and they won the Champions League.
It's true.
I'm still believing in them, and I still think the quality is just overwhelming. He just needs to play the right pieces and figure it out. If he figures it out, he's going to be able to do it. And then in my top 3, I'm going to put also Liverpool.
So you put Barca, Real, Liverpool.
Liverpool, yes. That's it. I think Liverpool can really do well.
I think they're the top 2 right now playing football currently. Liverpool and Barca. Liverpool
and
Barcelona.
I understand your point of view.
And with 2 new managers, Slot and Hansi Flick, that they
100%.
arrived and they made the difference. So, is Arsenal in your top 5, Pedro?
No, it's not.
So,
my top 5 of teams in world football at the moment is number 1, Liverpool. Number 2, Barcelona. Number 3, Sporting Club Portugal. Number 4, Napoli. And number 5, Aston Villa.
I like the Aston Villa show.
But to be fair, if
it
was 1 week ago, I could have snuck in Monaco in this top 5. But Monaco lost their last 2 matches and they're not first in the Ligue 1 anymore. Because Monaco, they were first in the Ligue 1 last week. They have 7 points out of 9 possible in the Champions League. They're performing really well.
They beat Barca.
You cannot look away from this Aston Villa side. Doing fairly well in the Prem's 5th position at the moment. 9 points out of 9 in the Champions League. Beaten Bayern. So, man, watch out for this Aston Villa.
Is Unai Emery a better manager than Arteta, in your opinion?
That's bold, and I think Arsenal fans will be mad at me. But I think he's proven more than Arteta.
And do you think Emiliano Martinez is the best goalkeeper in the world?
For sure, man. For Emiliano
for
Martinez.
Sure.
And not for sure, but Courtois was injured. Courtois was injured for a long time, and I have no doubt in what I'm saying. Like, Emiliano Martinez is one of the most iconic goalkeepers for Argentina ever. Man,
facts.
He has
for Argentina.
He has attitude. He's really good.
Copa America, the World Cup.
He's good at taunting the opponents, which is really important for a goalkeeper. The strikers lose focus, man. It's true. The strikers lose focus. I don't know. It was some strike. I don't even know if it was Bernardo Silva who said it. I'm not sure, but it's really hard to stand up and take a penalty against Emiliano Martinez. You feel that?
Yeah, I understand.
Man, because it's just his attitude, you know.
No, it's true.
The way
The taunting.
He annoys you. He annoys you. He makes you lose your cool. It's amazing, but it's a good characteristic to have on your side. And man, reflex-wise, he's great. I mean, he's a very complete.
John Duran, best sub in the world too, with Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins, quality. A lot of good things to go with what you said. And yes, I'm gonna state now my top 5. My top 5 teams playing football currently. My top 5 teams playing football currently this season, this is tough, but Bayern Munich in 5th. I put Napoli 4th. Bold, and I agree with Pedro, Sporting 3rd. Ruben Amorim, 10 wins in 10 league games. I put Liverpool 2nd, and I put Barcelona 1st. I literally believe the week that Barca beats Sevilla, beats Bayern, and beats Real Madrid is one of the best weeks in the last 5 years of Barca fans. So we're witnessing history.
But
we're
Alex,
really witnessing history.
what do you reckon of Arne Slot's? Because you mentioned Liverpool number 2, I have it on my number 1. So I'd like to ask you, what do you think of Arne Slot's work until now?
I think a lot of people, before the start of this Premier League season, they disrespected Liverpool. They disrespected Arne Slot. Arne Slot went to European finals with Feyenoord. Arne Slot developed the Senesi, developed the Kokshu. Players that people, they don't give a lot of credit to, but we do because we watch football. So Liverpool this season is reminding to the world that they are one of the best teams in football and have the experience of Van Dijk, Salah, Robertson, Trent Alexander-Arnold. They won a Premier League. They won a Champions League. They made the difference. They made history with this team. Joe Gomez has been nearly 10 years at this club. There's culture. And like Jose Mourinho stated, there's football heritage. Football heritage. And Liverpool have it with experience. And I think for sure they'll finish top 3 in the Premier League, but I do not want to put them favorites currently because Man City exists. And Man City has won the Premier League 4 times in a row, and will we be surprised if they win 5 times in a row? What better drop the mic for Pep Guardiola than that? It never happened in the history of the Prem 4. 5? That will be unprecedented. Unprecedented.
Gonçalo, about Liverpool.
Man, I think Liverpool have a really good side. I really think so. But in the end, I think Man City is still it's still the favorite in the Premier League. It's tough. It's tough to see that. It's tough to put Liverpool favorites. It's very, very hard. And I still think it's hard to put them above Barca and Real.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's why
but you put Liverpool ahead of Arsenal in the Premier League?
Me or Gonçalo?
Right now?
Both.
Both
do.
of us, yes,
Yeah,
100%.
So let me just say one thing. Going with what Gonçalo said, and you touched that point as well, Alex. I think it's an advantage that Man City has won it 4 times in a row for Liverpool, because Liverpool can go all the way as a dark horse with Arne Slot. And Arne Slot came in, and he has a different job as Ruben Amorim is going to have at United, which is it's complete opposite. So good things were being done by Jurgen Klopp, and he's going to continue the job Jurgen Klopp was making. And I think that's even tougher because you came in as a new manager, new personality, new ideas. You want to try new players, but you see...
But new key players. New key players though, Pedro.
You see the core of this Liverpool side. Salah stayed, which we were all amazed for him to stay. Szoboszlai was acquired as well last season by Jurgen Klopp. So every big player that's on this Liverpool side was acquired by Jurgen Klopp. And I think Arne Slot put his ego aside and he was like, okay, I have a good side here. There's a project being done. I'm just going to keep up the good work.
I have a good side. I have an historic side.
Yeah, man. And Alexander-Arnold's playing fairly well again, which is good news for Liverpool fans. We have
good news until next season, maybe.
Gakpo established himself as one of the front 3 priorities, which I think this season is where he was really stepping up and saying, I'm here, guys. It's my position. Even Diogo Jota's injuries also.
I think Darwin will get the position, though. But yes, going with what you said,
against Brighton, they played Salah, Darwin, and Gakpo, you know? So they can play, the 3 of them. So Arne Slot's doing a very decent job. And
to beat Brighton in the space of 3 days twice ain't easy. I don't believe United would do that in this current state. I have doubts if Arsenal would beat a Brighton team twice in the space of 3 days. So kudos to Liverpool. Kudos. And Salah, 9 goals, 7 assists. Come on.
Alex,
Trent Alexander-Arnold is the best right back in football. Do you guys agree?
Sorry, you think it's the best right back in football? No, I disagree.
Who is it?
Pedro Porro. Sorry, man. In my opinion, it's Pedro.
He has to have a sporting connection, of course.
It's not only due to that.
You were going to go Hakimi. I thought you were going to be like Hakimi.
Pedro is very underrated. I believe that he didn't have the influence he had in the Spanish national team just because Dani Carvajal was there. And Like, you know,
Another one.
Exactly. Exactly.
nowadays I have to go with Pedro Porro against Dani Carvajal.
So bold, mate. Pedro, this is the
He's
first
younger,
bold
he's
take,
more
mate.
eager. I mean, he's best on the ball. He shoots better. Even he has more goal-scoring ability than Dani Carvajal. And of course, we're talking about a right back. He's not supposed to score.
I think even Frimpong is better than Pedro Porro.
Yeah, but okay, but like Frimpong is more. I think I'm thinking of him like a bit more forward position, like wing back.
True,
I
right
understand.
wing back. Yeah,
if you- if you wanna-
Porro
yeah,
too,
but if you-
at Sporting
Yeah.
and now at
Both
Tottenham.
two at Sporting,
Yeah,
exactly.
you have a point. Yeah, they're similar type of players in team.
They're very similar.
But since we're mentioning Portuguese league, and the last thing I wanted to state here, it's more respect to Bournemouth. Bournemouth beats Man
Evan
City
Nielsen.
and Arsenal in the
Evan
last
Nielsen,
3
Portuguese
games.
striker.
Evan Nielsen, you stated Evan Nielsen currently has 3 goals in the Premier League. People state the Portuguese league sells bad players, the Portuguese league's overrated. Look at the amount of players playing at a high level that has left the Portuguese league. You have Evan Nielsen now, Nuno Mendes, João Neves, Ruben Dias, Vitinha, Ederson, goalkeeper at Man City. I'm sure Gyökeres when he leaves. Diogo Costa when he leaves one day. Kerem Aktürkoğlu when he leaves. They'll be top players.
Ugarte with Ruben Amorim as well.
Let's see.
believe-
Ugarte I
believe.
didn't mention, but we're hopeful about it. So Portuguese league
Let's see.
deserves more respect. So yes, people,
Enzo.
if you're here until the end, thank you so much. And we hinted this. You went bold about Pedro Porro. Pedro. So many Pedro.
Pedro
Questions,
Names, 'cause of
exactly. Questions of the podcast here at the end here in the outro, and leave suggestions for the future podcast. Questions that you'd like to see at the end. And there was a comment in our last podcast saying, talk more about the importance of fullbacks in modern day football. The importance of fullbacks comes from managers believing in the style of play that uses a lot wingbacks. So, going with that, Tottenham, will Ange Postecoglou win a trophy at Tottenham, Pedro and Gonçalo?
You're putting me in a tough spot, mate. As Andrew would say. I mean,
If Paul was the best in the world, he wins a title.
I think
but
he will
Harry
not
Kane is
reach
the best
that level.
striker in the world.
He
And
will not.
Harry Kane is the best striker in the world, and he's never won a title, Alex. So,
And he was at Tottenham.
yeah. So but that's it.
I think that the curse of firing Mourinho before that final is still going to go on for a long time, and it's still going to haunt them until they get a really, really crazy coach that can change the club from within, truly. Because until then, I think they're going to struggle to win
But
one
who can
title.
do that? Conte, he can't do that. Ange, he can't do that.
So listen, Alex.
Might be.
Tottenham is a team which doesn't have winning pedigree. You know, they're a big club, huge club, lots of money, as we all know, big fans, but they don't have the winning pedigree. And
So?
to be fair, I don't see them. And you have Pep Guardiola if he stays, Arteta, you have Arne Slot at Liverpool, you have Ruben Amorim coming into Man United as well, clinching all the cups as Eric Ten Hag used to do. Supposedly, as he said, you have Aston Villa playing really well as well. I mean, you have Newcastle with Arab money as well. It's going to be really tough for Tottenham to win a trophy in the coming years.
I agree.
They have luck. Don't get me wrong. They beat Man City now for the EFL. So even though I think Man City really wanted to lose that match because Man City doesn't want any more games in their calendar. They just don't give a damn about the EFL Cup. They would be decent to Tottenham, so they at least can clean the spider webs out of the trophy cabinet to have at least an EFL trophy. So I would say probably no, but I can see them either winning an FA Cup or an EFL. In the next 20 years, no chance for the Premier League for Tottenham. Sorry, guys.
Ooh, no chance. We'll remember episode 6, people, okay? You stating just that. You're stating that first time we're doing us 3, you stated Tottenham will never win a trophy in the 20 years. So I...
Premier League.
Premier League, I'm sorry.
Premier League.
Makes sense.
Even though I don't think it's likely in the next 2 to 3 years. But in 20 years, the Premier League, no chance.
I think the problem with Tottenham is the quality in the Premier League right now is insane. And we are seeing not only the big clubs, but only the smaller clubs. The smaller, Brighton, Newcastle, even Aston Villa, Bournemouth. We're seeing a different level that might make it even harder for Tottenham to win a title in the next, I would say, even the next 5 years.
But it
Think they're going to stay at least.
facilitates in terms of choices of managers. If I'm Tottenham, I look at Fabian Hurtzler, if he does a good job at Brighton, Mark Silva at Fulham, Thomas Frank at Brentford, it might be the manager. It's only
It
culture
might be
people.
the manager. I think that
I rate Postecoglou.
Is it Daniel Levy's fault?
I think it's
A lot of people blame him.
I mean, it's a cultural thing, and is that like Gonçalo said? I mean, to win a cup, you need luck, and you need to perform in certain matches. And now you have a bit smaller clubs performing better, and they can on a matchup they can beat anyone in a certain day, in a specific day, in a given day. They can beat anyone on one match. So league-wise, you need consistency. Maybe no, but the FA Cup and the EFL just become harder for Tottenham due to that.
Due to the competition level increasing. And understandable. Exactly. And here with another question for both of you. Let's be a bit faster with this one, guys, please. Is Bale the best British player this century?
100%. 100%. For me, 100%. And the
Not
problem
Wayne
that
Rooney.
we're seeing now. No, I understand Wayne Rooney. I truly understand Wayne Rooney. But the thing is, with the levels that Messi and Ronaldo showed, Neymar and Bale really tried to reach that level. And they
or Michael Owen, that won a Ballon d'Or.
Right.
Yeah, it was in the 2000, I think, right?
I said this century.
The point that I want to get at is what we saw with Vinicius not being able to win the Ballon d'Or was also due to Bale and Neymar reaching a level that we never saw a player reaching without winning the Ballon d'Or.
No, okay. So you're stating like Vini is not the best player not to win a Ballon d'Or. We had the likes of Bale and Neymar that you consider better players than Vinicius Jr.
And Suarez, 100%.
Alex,
yes.
in my opinion. Sorry, finish your thoughts.
No, and that is why I really think that Vinicius isn't that's why I think people didn't vote on him, because they saw the levels of Neymar, they saw the levels of Bale, they saw the levels of Suarez that they reached, and they thought, okay, this swinger is really, really good. He was a key player. He didn't perform that well in Brazil.
True.
For Brazil, and Neymar was always class for Brazil. Bale was always class for Wales. And Vinicius wasn't as good as Rodrigo for Brazil, and that was the clutchness that Vinicius didn't reach that made him not win the Ballon d'Or. Now,
Rodri has more goals scored in 2024 for Spain than Vini for Brazil. 3 goals,
right?
Rodri,
But the problem with Rodri is he was not in the top starting 11 in the Champions League and not in the Premier League. And he still won the Ballon d'Or. And I understand the criticism. But what he did in Euros was crazy. Also, Fabian Ruiz was clutch. And people forget what Fabian Ruiz did in exactly.
And Zubimendi came on in the final.
It wasn't only Rodri, but Vinicius has that problem of being compared not just to Rodri, but to Neymar, to Bale, to Suarez, to great players, and these great wingers, Neymar and Bale. What do you think, Pedro?
To answer your question, yes, Gareth Bale is the best British player to have played this century, even though in 10 years' time, I will not have the same answer. I believe that Jude Bellingham will be a better player overall than Gareth Bale ever was. Gareth Bale, for me, is the best British player because not only of what he did to Real Madrid. I don't know if you remember, but at a certain point, people were discussing whether him or Ronaldo should win the Ballon d'Or, or if he was better than Ronaldo in 2016, when he took Wales to the semi-finals of the Euros. He single-handedly took Wales to the semi-finals, not single-handedly, but he played a huge role.
Basically, single-handedly.
They were struggling even to make it to these type of decisions, to Euros, to World Cups. And with Gareth Bale, man, that became like their day-to-day. Their day-to-day.
World Cup.
And
Ramsey was also great.
As well,
Joe Allen, I remember.
If Ronaldo, I mean, Benzema won a Ballon d'Or, right? And for me, from that BBC front three, Gareth Bale was the second man in that front three. In my opinion, he was like the second best, let's say.
So you'd say Ronaldo, Bale, Benzema. That's you.
At that moment, yes. At that moment, I would say so.
I agree.
Benzema was playing like a secondary part, but Bale was like the second man in Real Madrid. And so if you say that, and then later on, Benzema won a Ballon d'Or after Cristiano left Real Madrid, How good was Gareth Bale at his
True.
prime?
In a different
Yeah.
time, Bale would have won a Ballon d'Or. I agree. I agree. And maybe if Bale had stayed more time in the Premier League and not gone to Real Madrid, Tottenham would have a trophy and he'd be the first player to win a Ballon d'Or in the Premier League since Cristiano Ronaldo. And now it's Rodri. Rodri became the first player in the Premier League to win a Ballon d'Or since Cristiano. And it just doesn't feel the same, man. It doesn't feel the same thing. But last question.
I actually have one thing to say. It's been exactly 10 years since we saw that Gareth Bale goal against Bartra in the Copa del Rey final. It's been 10 years. How old are we? Guys?
26.
10 years.
So,
10 years.
Amazing, mate. Amazing memories. And going with related to this last question of the podcast, and it's being fantastic, guys. Leave suggestions of questions you'd like to see.
Yeah.
It's will Cristiano Ronaldo score 1,000 goals?
Yes.
I know. Pedro has a really strong feelings on this one, which is he's told me 1,000 times that there is no possibility of Ronaldo not reaching 1,000 goals. Even if he's on crutches, he will reach the 1,000 goals.
Even if he's playing with one leg, he will keep on playing until he reaches.
Exactly.
It's just part of his mentality, you know.
And do you think he'll go to Sporting, Cristiano Ronaldo, in his career, Pedro?
No. He said himself, he's not gonna come to Europe again.
No chance.
No chance. He's gonna finish.
I think Messi could go to
he
Old Boys.
He owns part of Sporting now. I don't think he just wants to manage the club rather than play for it. I really think so.
I think he should, though.
Yeah, as an investor.
Yeah, that's the thing. And look, guys. And I had a disagreement with someone that stated this. When you think of the biggest Brazilian stars, they all finished at home. Ronaldinho, Marcelo now, Thiago Silva. They might not finish the best way. They might not. But they all go back home. And I think Neymar will go back to Brazil. I would love to see Cristiano go back to Portugal.
The football culture is different, Alex. Brazilian people breathe football.
But it would empower our league to have Ronaldo coming back.
Please,
Ronaldo, voila.
Even the dimension of the league is different because, I'm not talking about in terms of quality.
The rights, TV
but Brazil
rights.
is a market of 300 million people, 200 million people. So it's different, you know.
But not a lot of people see the Brasileirão outside of Brazil. You can say that too.
Just all of Brazil is more than all of Europe that watches the Portuguese league for sure. Like even if Ronaldo came, I believe that it's different, man. It's different.
Mate, Cristiano comes to our league immediately. The Portuguese league is a top
100%
league in terms of viewership. Ahead of the Bundesliga.
I agree with that, but I don't see him because at the moment he's a businessman. Besides of being a footballer, he's more of a businessman now.
That's why he's a YouTuber as well.
Yeah, exactly. And he wants to have fun, and he's having fun at Saudi. He gets paid well. You know, it's also about status, Alex. And
true.
I think
so. He'll score 1,000 goals.
Yeah, he will definitely.
Oh,
definitely. I put my heart out on that. He will score 1,000 goals definitely.
And is there any last thoughts, any last comments that you'd put your heart out that you want to state to the world? Starting with you, Gonçalo, here. Did you really want to state to the world? Like now we have Ruben Amorim, now we have Real Madrid, since you're living in Madrid. What would be the comment that you like to, a message that you like to say? Or a prediction?
The last message I would like to say is we can believe in United once again, and for the first time since Mourinho, let's say, and Alex Ferguson. I never ever believed in any single coach that came after Mourinho, and because they didn't have the status that Rúben Amorim and the potential that Rúben Amorim and the potential is there. So I think it's a really, really exciting time for Manchester United fans. I think it's a really exciting time, even for English fans that want to see another Titan rise again. And I think it's an exciting time to watch that team and see what Rúben Amorim can do from the ground up, from these new generation of managers like Arteta, like Xabi Alonso, and like Nagelsmann. And I really think we can see something great.
Do we put
rise
Ruben
once
Amorim in
again.
the top 5 managers in football currently?
Right now, I really do. I
put him top 10, 100%. Top 5 is bold, guys. You have
Top
Xabi,
5 is bold because there's a lot
Xabi
of
Alonso,
quality.
Pep Guardiola, Ancelotti, Simone Inzaghi, Arteta. Is Arteta better than Ruben?
I put him above Arteta and Inzaghi. I really, really do. I think people don't. I
Ruben.
understand that people don't have the visibility of what he did at Sporting, but what he did at Sporting is incredibly unique.
Love it.
Incredible. They didn't win the title for 20 years. They haven't won
19.
two titles in a row in 70 years, and they're on track to do that. And it's what I've said. I really believe this is the best Sporting side in history. In history, if they reach the quarterfinals of the Champions League, it's only been done once in their history. The quality of the
Can
players,
happen.
and the way they're playing, it's insane. I really believe he can do that in Manchester United. And the way he talks, and the way he communicates, and the relationship he is able to get to the players, I think it's something that is lacking with Erik ten Hag. Let's see. What do you think, Pedro? What is something that you want to
Pedro's
say?
like eager. I want to leave with a message of style for Ruben.
So my closing statement also goes to Manchester United fans, and what I would like to say is, Rúben Amorim is not just a coach. He's not just a manager. He's what's gonna define the future of the club as a culture itself. And I believe that Rúben Amorim is gonna build something that never has been done since Sir Alex Ferguson joined Man United. He's going to refurbish the club. And he's going to refurbish the club starting at mentality, starting in the locker room, everything that he does. Like, even though, in my opinion, it was it was an easier choice for him to go to Man United than to Man City. Because it's a harder job. In my opinion, it would be a harder job to go to Man City.
No,
I agree.
I don't agree.
Let me just finish my thoughts, please. In terms of the responsibility and the accountability that he would have if he went to Man City, if he ruined anything, if anything went wrong, it would be his fault. If anything went right, he would just be continuing the job Pep Guardiola was doing. And it's very easy to ruin something that is already built. At Man United, he will be allowed to make mistakes, while he was allowed at Sporting. And he will have to make mistakes in order to learn what is best for the club. Give him time. Rúben Amorim is going to be a legend at Manchester United. In my opinion, Manchester United is the second biggest club in the world, or third after Real Madrid and Barcelona. And he's gone. In my opinion, he has the potential to turn Manchester United to the biggest club in world football. Give him time, guys. Rúben Amorim is going to change your club. It's going to change the way you see football, and it's going to change the mentality, the squad, everything. Trust me.
Devil advocates here. Devil advocates here. Why would he make less mistakes at Man City? Because they got a better structure.
Mistakes, but he would be more accountable for the mistakes.
So because you'll get Viktor Gyökeres.
Alex, let me tell you one thing.
That's the problem.
3 years ago here in Portugal, 3 years ago, or 4 or 5, before Rúben Amorim joined Sporting, Benfica, or not even now, Benfica fans are much more demanding than Sporting fans, for example. Why? Because they're more used to winning. Not anymore. Now I think Sporting fans have risen up their expectations as well. But the expectations were different.
Domestically, but not internationally.
But
we can talk more about that in another podcast.
If your expectations are higher, if you're used to winning, if you have a winning mentality, you lose one time, you lose two, people don't have patience for you to commit mistakes anymore. Because everything's built from... If you're coming from the 14th place, you're going to be able to win 3 matches and lose 1.
I agree.
Okay, it's an experience. He tested out, he tried out. We can see something's being built here. There's a gameplay. There's something in place. And at Man City, you wouldn't be able to commit many mistakes in order to grow. You know what I mean?
100%.
Implement his philosophy. Because just imagine he was trying to implement his philosophy and Man City went down to 4th place 1 year. People will be, this guy is total...
Exactly.
But I don't think that would happen. I don't think that would happen.
At United, they'll have more patience. That's my opinion. And
I believe, just like we're stating, that United will be in a better place. If Ruben went to City, I think he'd stick with Man City at the top. I don't believe they'll be finishing below top 4. I know it's an if scenario, but I really believe in the quality of Ruben, even though it would be a different type of challenge.
Yeah, but
it's just
assuming.
It's the challenge he wants. That's what makes it beautiful.
Right, but what Rúben Amorim really knows what to do is when the club is struggling. That's his niche and what he's very specialized in. And I think Man City, of course, he would do a good job because he's a really, really good coach. But I think he doesn't also want that challenge. In the press conference, he said, "Did you go to Manchester United for the money?" And he said, I can't even spend the money that Sporting gives me. Why would I go to Manchester United for the money? I'm not going to Manchester United for the money. I'm going to Manchester United because I believe I can make history. I can make almost a miracle happen. And they are in 14th place, and doing worse than 14th, you want to do. And that's guaranteed.
Guys, just so you can think about the size of Man United, just the rumors of Ruben Amorim going there, they're spread worldwide. It's amazing, like the size. And if Pep Guardiola was doing the same he's doing at Man City, at Man United, I think the dimension would be
100%.
For sure.
100%.
For sure. And that's what Ruben wants, because Ruben knows that if everything goes well at United, he'll be a legend.
I think this is my last comment here in this podcast, and I'm going to stay here with my friends. I believe Ruben Amorim will be a tougher challenge than Arteta, than Arne Slot, than other managers in the Premier League for Pep Guardiola if he stays. I really believe the biggest threats to Pep Guardiola's dominance in the Premier League is Ruben Amorim and Manchester United, because he's going to clean the team with Omar Berrada at the top, CEO that used to be at Man City, and I can guarantee you, Ugarte, Kobe Mainoo, Lenny Yoro, Garnacho, all being coached by Ruben Amorim, their value is going skyrocket. Mason Mount, I stated, believe in these players, but others will leave. Guaranteed. There's no space for a lot of players, but we saw Casemiro score a goal, and I did say Kobe Mainoo and Ugarte defensively are top, but there needs to be more goals. So, yes, it was a really good podcast here with my mates, Pedro and Gonçalo. We could go for another hour. It's been so enjoyable. Leave a like and touch the ring bell here on YouTube. It's a huge help. And yes, thank you so much for Pedro and Gonçalo for your bold thoughts and your last statements. Yes, Gyökeres mask and just happiness. It was very good. It was
a pleasure to be here.
Oh,
absolute pleasure.
Oh, it's like always, man. And just
this is what we do without the cameras on. So
exactly.
I think
just having a good talk.
It's natural.
Just one last statement, guys. It's gonna be real. I'm gonna be really eager to see what because Ruben Amorim wants to prove himself against Manchester United. So it's gonna be
of course, it's a Ruben.
Because it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different if he comes into the Premier League having beaten Man City one week before. Than having lost, because he's going to go in with a different aura.
So let's see what will happen in the Champions League. Let us know down below in the comment section. And people, if you're listening until now, thank you for going bold here in Season 2, Episode 6. See Episode 7 coming next week, people. Thank you so much.